What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Investing. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. So in this video, we will be going over the S&P 500 index and the S&P 500 ETF, and this is going to be part of our morning update. And I'll also go over the NASDAQ futures and where they are trading right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like because it really helps out with the channel. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates, videos related to investing, and technical breakdowns. So right now, the markets are open. The futures is down close to about 32 basis points. The NASDAQ futures is down just about 7 basis points. And the S&P 500 ETF, which is ticker symbol SPY, that trades pre-market and after hours, is down close to 30 basis points. So the markets did gap down as expected, because if you guys did get a chance to watch my market update from last night, I essentially went over this pattern, which is the S&P 500 index itself, and I was just hoping that the pattern would close above 3155. And that's a level that we have recognized as a very clear level of resistance. You guys can see that we have gapped down or pulled back or gone rejected at that level multiple times. So I was just wishing that the pattern would close above 3155, but that just didn't happen, and we closed at 3152, essentially pulling back towards the end of the day. And we did gap up, or we did break above the 3155, but the bears came in and pushed us back down to 3150. So now moving forward, where do I see the pattern going today and going into next week? There's not a lot of macroeconomic data that comes out. I think it's just the producers manufacturing index or the PMI numbers that come out today. But that being said, if you are looking at a gap down, then potentially the pattern can continue to trade in between this range with 3155 that we need to watch as a very clear level of supply and resistance, and then 3115 being the more near-term support and a level of demand, because that's where we pulled back all the way down to yesterday at around 10:30 in the morning, and then that acted as a really good support and then pushed the markets up close to 1.3%. The market's taking 3115 as a really validated level of demand and support. So those are key levels that I would personally be watching today. If we do break out of 3155, then we are back retesting 3180, which again is going to be our more near-term resistance because of the fact that we have gone rejected there now, not once, not twice, but 3 times, going back as far as July 6th. You guys can see that we pushed up, got rejected, pushed up again, got rejected for the second time, and then made our way back to that level yesterday pre-market as soon as the market opened at 9:30, and then got rejected and then sold off all the way to 3115. So that was a drop of close to about 2%. So that being said, 3 levels that I'm watching today: 3180. If we do break out of our more near-term resistance at 3155, that's going to be the next resistance that obviously we need to break out of, and then retest the first week of June's high, which is going to sit at 3230. But if we do get rejected at 3155 yet again, then the next support I'm watching is 3115. Now, I personally don't see the markets dropping below 3115 today, but that might happen going into next week because we have seen this huge rally coming in from last Monday when we touched 3,000 levels, and we rallied all the way up to over 6% going into this week. That being said, those are some key levels that we need to watch. If there's a small probability of us dropping below 3115 today, then the next key support that we are watching, if you guys have been watching any of my previous market updates, you guys know that that's going to sit at 3080 to 3085. And the reason is simple, because that has previously acted as really strong resistance and both support going back as far as June 19th to June 25th. You guys can see that we validated that support here, and that acted as a really good resistance. So quick takeaways on the S&P 500 index. Right now we are gapping down close to 30 basis points, so we're going to probably open in between this range: 3155 as a very near-term resistance, 3115 as a very clear level of demand and support. If we do break out of 3155, next resistance I'm watching is 3180 that we need to break out of in order to see the highs from June 9th, which is going to sit at 3230, and then of course all-time highs at 3400 and beyond. But if you do break down, then 3115 is the next support. If you break down of this level, then the next support is 3080. Now we're going to jump over to the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY, and before we do that, the NASDAQ futures are down as well, close to about flat on the day, but just about 3 basis points in the red. So this right here is going to be the S&P 500 ETF. And again, if you've been watching any of my previous market updates, especially from the one last night, we recognize some of these levels that are going to be really important going into today's trading session and into next week. So right now you can see the pattern is trying to break out of its more near-term resistance at $314 level, which has previously acted as really good support. So right now you can see that the markets are trading pre-market and we are breaking out of this level. The only question is if you're going to close above this level or if you're going to pull back. That being said, the next resistance sits at 315 right here, which is going to be a push up of close to, I think, about 70 basis points right there. And then if you do break out of 315, next resistance sits at 318 because that has previously acted as some type of resistance in the past. But if you do get rejected and pull back, next support at 310, similar to 3110 or 3115 for the S&P 500 index. And then if you pull below 310, then the next two support levels are going to be 308, which is on the upper half of this rectangle, and then 306, which is going to be at the bottom half. So to give you guys a quick recap on the S&P 500 ETF, right now we are trying to break out of this level, so you guys can see that the markets are trading, but we are pulling back just a little bit. So the next resistance obviously is where we are trading right now at $313 to $314. If you break out, 315 to watch. If you break out of there, 318 is going to be the next resistance. If you get rejected here and pull back, which it seems like we are, then the next support is going to sit at 310. I don't think the pattern is going to break below 310 today. So I hope you guys enjoy my quick technical breakdown on both the S&P 500 index and the S&P 500 ETF. Those are some of the levels that I'm personally watching today going into next week. So if you did, please make sure to drop a like. It really helps out with the channel. Also make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates, videos related to investing, and technical breakdowns. As always, happy investing, and I will see you guys in the next video.